you've got in the center a prioritization of the self and preservation of the self. That's a given. That's something you've told me. But what I see more so as you go towards the fringes of that spectrum is you've got a higher influence of philosophy, a higher influence of ideals, and in that way marginalizing people, and in that way criminalizing people and entomizing. And I think there must be some way to be both benevolent and self-sustaining.
Well, that's how it used to be in the old days. You used to have law and chaos. Those are the two deities. And I believe my pastor talked about when he came to church, but I'll reiterate it. There was the law and chaos, and they worked in unison. They back and forth. They fought. They worked against each other, but for each other at the same time. And that's how our world worked. That's how everybody followed or didn't follow the different deities. But then everything in this world has been influenced by other planes of existence. For example, the first to infiltrate our planes of existence were the dragons. And when they came in, bringing their different deities, some lawful, some chaotic, but some were neutral or things like that, and it messed up the situation, and it shook it at first. They were able to fight off the dragons and kill the dragon deities, but not before dragons became to influence the world. And dragons are so influential in our world. Some say that dragons rule entire cities beneath the scenes. But even worse than the dragons were the demonic forces that came in. So the warlocks, the demons, the tieflings that came into the world, after the dragons introduced evil into the world. And so whereas you used to have chaos and law, or law and order, or however you want to say it, then there became good and evil. So even the lawful people, the lawful deities, the lawful groups, governments, became to be influenced by evil magic, and then it created a whole system of different options where different deities were taking different paths. Some kept their lawful alignment, some went to chaos, some went to neutral, and the evil started influencing to where some deities grant dark magic and some grant light magic, depending on whether or not they're good or evil, the old gods or the new. And that brought upon all of the crazy evil creatures. You had deities coming in, creating the goblinoid races and the mind flayers and the underdark creatures, all those deities and their creatures, and they came in from other planes of existence, and we just couldn't stop it. There was no stopping this one, and that's why we have so much evil in the world. Is when this event happened. And so creatures like beholders, those giant eye creatures, some say that they rule entire cities too beneath them, or that they influence gangs and or just have giant layers and I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen one. I haven't seen one, but I heard of them. Or tiefling creatures. You see them walking around every once in a while. They're pretty scary. Yeah. And so that's kind of how they were introduced into the world. And who knows what happens in Yulan. There's only one trading city down there, and no Imperial soldiers ever stepped foot in Yulan. So who knows what kind of creatures and races are down there.
That's a lot that happened that didn't need to happen. And that's fascinating. I mean, I say this as just a mortal man, but there's got to be something that we can do. But we'll find out. And as we keep digging, we'll do what work we know that needs to be done, and we'll do it. Because that's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
I pay my bill, and I
Head out.
yeah.
Cool. Benny stays there. And you kind of make your way down to the main center of town where there's like shopping stuff. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, right there down by the docks, you see this big wanted board.
All right. I took a good old look, and I look for names to report them to.
Okay. So you look at the names
and the bounty on the mounts.
Yeah. So your eye immediately catches to the highest bounty.
The big old poster.
And there's this big kind of rolled out poster, and drawn on it is this mean looking, what looks like a half ogre or half cyclops. Sorry. He's like the size of like a normal human. You can recognize because he's holding a human, ripping its head off. But the head's like only about half the size of his, so he's not like, you probably assume he's like 8 feet tall. Yeah. And he's ripping the head off of a person in the picture, and he's screaming it. And someone drew it. It's
like that one painting. Have you seen that one painting?
It sounds. That's probably what I'm getting it from.
Yeah. Continue. I want to find it.
So you see this half ogre kind of ripping the head off of this person, and it says in big bold letters, Omar, the head ripper, wanted for assorted crimes and mutilation in the forest. Bounty 1,000 gold. It's the most on there. And then like it says accounted for 100 head rippings. And so and there's like a letter from the families and stuff like that. People like wanting it and raising money. So it's an odd number of gold. It's like 1,128. So like people are adding to it to try and get people to.
It's kind of like a telethon.
Yeah, exactly. And so people are kind of adding to it. Another one you see, it looks like a bugbear, like a goblinoid creature, and it says, let me see here, I have it written down here somewhere. You see this, like, I would say he's bandit looking. Okay. He's you can't really tell whether or not he's a human or half elf. But it says Milas the Wicked, wanted for organized crime in and out of Broughton. And then the gold is I think it's like 540 something, so 543 it'll
That's
say.
That's dang good.
And he's wanted for organized crime in the area. And then the third one is this goblin, and it's it looks a little more like crudely drawn. It's a little bit different. It looks like it was drawn by like one of the townsfolk and put on there. And it says you see this little, like, it's weird. So the goblins are usually green and small. This one he's blue. So like someone like went out and got like a blue marker or something. Yeah.
Saturn devouring the sun.
Yeah.
It's a crazy painting.
Yeah. That's what it kind of looks like.
We probably shouldn't show people that.
So basically, it's like this goblin that someone went out and tried to find something blue to like scrape on it and color it in blue paint or something, but it looks a little cruder than that. And it's this goblin that has like kind of pirate-looking clothes, and under the name it just says "Little Goblin Bastard," and it says this goblin took my equipment and stole my stuff, looking for someone to go out and find him. And it's like this little goblin. He has a smug look on his face, and he has like a little gold earring, and in the picture he's just holding like a bunch of stuff. Like he just
it's like a forensic rendition of the guy who drew.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like he just hates him. You can see the hate in the drawing.
Yeah. I go for the middle guy, Milas.
Okay, Milas the Wicked.
Yeah.
So information on him on the poster, it looks like he's a little bit more behind the scenes, might be a little harder to find.
Okay.
And you're probably gonna have to ask around to find more information about him.
Okay. Yeah. What's about him again? Sorry, what's he?
He's responsible for organized crime.
Oh, that's right.
In the area.
Yeah. Milos. Anyone can take him, like that goblin dude. I want
Want a challenge?
Yeah, I want a little bit of a challenge. Yeah, but not the crazy telethon bounty dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So having been an inspector or investigator previously, do I know anyone in the city?
Would you say that your affiliation is more with the good or knowing the evil of sorts? So, like, would you say that your character knows more about, like, people like Frank? Or would you say that you know, like, head officials who have, like, deep understanding of the evil? So, like Dexter, for example, the show, he knows the good people who know the bad people.
Yeah.
And he uses that information to find the bad people.
Yeah.
Or, like, I don't know, someone else who just is involved in the underworkings and, like, because feels like you're just now getting into that. You're just now learning about the, stuff like that. So.
Yeah. Well, bounties have always been my thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Well, not always. So here's it's kind of both, really. I know people that are in the higher ranks because of my because I was an investigator for quite a while, and so the people that I work alongside with, my colleagues, have moved up. But recently, my recent contacts are with the semi-shady figures within the force that know that justice can't be executed by the police alone.
Yeah.
And it's those figures that I regularly commune with, though I have good rapport with their commanders.
Okay.
Know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. So you know that just kind of, I don't know, talking to guards, things like that, that a very lawful, very, very good officer from the Empire just sailed into Broughton. And his name is Charles Corzax.
Okay.
Charles Corzax. And he just sailed in, and he's like the